What is the best and safest low-tax jurisdiction in Europe? This is what I asked myself in 2018 when I left Germany. First, I moved to Bali and I enjoyed my time there, but I couldn't see myself living there for a long period of time. It's great for a short trip for some months, but after some time you really want to live in a developed country with a real infrastructure and safe politics. So I wanted to go back to Europe. Hey everybody, it's Ricardo Gorski, the founder of tax.one, where we help individuals and businesses relocate to low-tax jurisdictions for less tax and more wealth. If you want to get an individual consultation call, reach out to us on tax.one. After Bali, I moved back to Europe and I moved to Switzerland. And if we have a scale and Bali is here, Switzerland is literally on the other end of the scale. I went from one extreme to the other and I wanted to find the perfect balance in the middle. I wanted the lifestyle and climate of Bali, but also the potential and opportunities of Switzerland at the very same time. As everyone, I was doing my research online and I stumbled upon a few options. Malta, Monaco, Andorra, Portugal, Georgia, Estonia, and a few others. But all of them had some kind of disadvantage and I decided against it. Malta's tax system was way too complicated and not sustainable in my opinion. Portugal stopped their NHR program. Estonia is way too cold and the other options were far too off and I couldn't see myself living there. Some countries were definitely interesting, but when I flew there and I visited the country, I found out that the crime rate is very high, the country is unstable and living there is just not safe. Also, when I was talking to accountants and lawyers, I found out about hidden costs and some taxes that they don't advertise online. Let's take Estonia for example. Sure, Estonia's tax system is definitely interesting, I have to admit. Officially, the corporation tax in Estonia is 20%. But if you distribute dividends, then the corporation tax is not applicable anymore because there is no profits anymore that you can tax, and so you end up with effectively 0% corporate tax. This sounds surely interesting. So what is the catch? The catch is that if you were to move to Estonia and you become a tax resident there in order to operate your business in Estonia, you have to pay dividend tax on the dividends that you're receiving from your company, and that is just about 20% in Estonia. This is surely better than most Central European countries, but with some additional costs, fees, and even taxes, you could end up with a pretty high tax burden as well. Now, sure, you could also operate this Estonian entity as an offshore company from a jurisdiction where there is a 0% dividend tax. I get that, but this is not what we advise at tax.one because you need strong economic substance in Estonia in order to prove and justify why you have a company there, especially if the UBO, so the ultimate beneficial owner or the majority shareholders, are not residing in Estonia or any other low corporate tax jurisdiction. So if the shareholders of the Estonian entity are residing in Estonia, they are liable for dividend tax. If they are not residing in Estonia, they definitely need proper substance services in order to prove management and control in Estonia, and this could end up in pretty high management costs as well. Because just as a natural person, so you and me effectively, we have tax residencies, ideally in just one jurisdiction because otherwise you get double tax, but let's just say you have a tax residency in the country you are in right now, I have my tax residency in my country right here. Also, company entities have a tax residency, and this tax residency is in that country where the day-to-day decisions of the business are being made. So in simple terms, offshore companies these days are not really that safe anymore because the transparency register, all of the international tax rules and laws make it harder and harder to operate such a structure in a very safe way. Nominees and trustees and similar setups and structures is what they used to do in the past. But these days, it's everything but a bulletproof structure. At tax.one, we design bulletproof structures compliant with all international tax rules while paying as little tax as possible so that everyone can sleep well at night and no one ends up in jail. If this is something you're interested in, you can reach out to us on tax.one. And exactly for that, I'm now revealing the best and safest low-tax jurisdiction in Europe in our opinion. When I flew to Cyprus for the first time in I think 2018, I felt the peace, solitude and potential right from the beginning. I landed at the airport, I checked into my Airbnb and I took a walk by the sea. And I was like, damn, I really enjoy it here. And I don't know what it is, but I really like the Mediterranean lifestyle and the food and the sun, the climate, the salty sea, the people and the night culture and so many other things. Coming from Central Europe, where everything is grey, cloudy and rainy and all the people are stressed, I appreciate the island lifestyle so much. Yes, of course, there are business benefits, tax benefits, and I will get to that in a minute, but the peace of mind that you have here is one thing that you can't get in many places in the world. I live in my detached house here with a sea view. I have my motorbike, a car, a girlfriend, my cat, and I'm literally just living my life without any stress. No neighbors looking into my backyard, no people hating on me, no people scratching my bike or my car or annoying us in general. And I'm here for a very long time. And I have the feeling that people are just happy from within here. But okay, enough about that and back to taxes. When I arrived in Cyprus, I met a lawyer and an accountant. And they explained the whole setup to me and I was stunned by how easy the bureaucracy here is, because I was running a business, a GmbH in Germany, and I'm used to a lot of paperwork, high taxes, high management fees, and a lot of bureaucracy. Yes, I do pay taxes here in Cyprus, but they are very low, and at the very same time, I would say that this is a good thing, because I can sleep well at night and I don't risk any trouble in the future. I actually don't even have problems with paying a little taxes, but giving up over 50% of my hard-earned money in Germany, this just didn't feel right and surely unfair, because I didn't even see what they did with my money that I paid to them, because I was living in a small village in Germany as well, and I felt like all of the money, the tax money, was just pumped into the big cities. And yes, I know, paying 0% is theoretically possible. And I know a lot of people that advertise that and they want to sell you the perfect setup. But all of these structures and jurisdictions only work until they don't work anymore. There is a reason why so many tax evaders and even famous people end up with serious criminal charges after a few years of not having a bulletproof structure. They think they are super smart with their shell company and nominee and trustee service in an exotic island that they don't even know where it is on the map. At tax.one, we want to avoid the worst case scenario at all costs, while paying as little tax as possible, because nothing is more important and more valuable than our freedom. Anyway, the reason why Cyprus is the best and safest low-tax jurisdiction in Europe is the following. Number one, Cyprus is not a tax haven. And this is a good thing, because as we discussed earlier, this means that other nations are not black or grey listing Cyprus, the FATF is not investigating Cyprus, and you can operate under a Cyprus limited company completely normal without any restrictions. What Cyprus did is actually pretty smart, because they created an infrastructure where the tax benefits only apply to certain individuals and businesses. So while the majority of people here in Cyprus, especially the locals, they actually pay quite a high amount of taxes, wealthy individuals and foreign businesses that relocate to Cyprus, they can end up with a pretty low total taxation, because they wanted to attract these individuals and businesses to improve Cyprus' economy. Number two, Cyprus has the non-dom status. And that means that people that never made Cyprus their home in previous years can become non-domiciled in Cyprus for the next 17 years. For 17 years, foreign non-dom individuals are exempt from the special defense tax, which means they can receive dividends completely tax-free at 0%. The only fee they pay is the healthcare contribution, with a capped 2.65% on the dividend income, which is only applicable to the first 180,000 euros in dividend income, and everything above that is not applicable anymore. So no matter the amount in total dividend income that you're receiving from your private companies, but also from public shares, for example, the maximum you will pay is exactly 4,717 euros as of today. And number three, Cyprus has a very low corporate tax. The official corporate tax is 12.5%, which is important in my opinion because going lower comes with risks. The US wants to implement a global minimum corporation tax of just about that amount, and everything lower than that might not be accepted in the near future. Also, again, for certain businesses there are also tax exemptions in Cyprus. For example, for IT, software and SaaS companies, Cyprus offers the IP box regime. With this special tax rule, you can lower your corporate tax for your company down to 2.5%, which is insane. There are also many other tax exemptions and tax rules that come into your favor, and with tax.one we assist individuals and businesses relocate to Cyprus and other low tax jurisdictions. So if you want to get an individual consultation call, you can reach out to us on tax.one. So with all that in mind, Cyprus, in our opinion, is the best and safest low tax jurisdiction in Europe because the tax system is pretty straightforward. I pay 12.5% on the profits on my company. I pay myself the minimum salary of 1,000 euros per month, so I don't even trigger personal income tax, which is actually quite high, but it starts at 19,500 euros. As I'm the only shareholder of my company, I can distribute the profits of my company as a dividend to myself as a non-dom individual any time of the year, and this is completely tax-free and is taxed at 0%. With the healthcare contribution, I pay just about 15% in total tax, but we also have clients at tax.one that have a total taxation of just about 3%, and that completely legal in a European country. This is what I mean when I say it's straightforward here. And no, there are no hidden costs, fees or other taxes, and I can confirm that there is no catch here in Cyprus because I live here for 5 years now and I helped hundreds of individuals and businesses relocate to Cyprus as well, and all of them are exceptionally happy with their life here. No one has to worry about an investigation or problems in the future because we are compliant with the tax authorities of a European member country, and in general, setting up your Cyprus company here and immigrating to Cyprus is very simple and affordable. I can focus on my business. I never had issues with the tax authorities in Cyprus, and accounting and auditing is as simple as just signing some documents and that's it. And the rest of the time you can actually focus on your personal life, on your business, and don't worry about paperwork, legal warnings or stuff like that. And now, to close the circle, Cyprus is also a country with one of the lowest crime rates in the whole European Union. Some sources even say that Cyprus is the 5th safest country in the whole world. But as Cyprus is a rather relatively small country, it's hard to compare it with countries such as Germany, for example, where the population is almost 100 million. And anyways, I don't think that any of those polls and studies are 100% accurate anyway. But what is 100% accurate is my own personal experience here in Cyprus and the experience of our clients, and I never saw crime here in Cyprus. I never had any serious problems here in Cyprus, even though I am somewhat of a public person here. And I never had a friend or a client here in Cyprus with serious criminal problems either. I rarely hear about crimes in Cyprus in general. This ranges from small crimes and goes up to murder, for example. We have a lot of really wealthy clients here that drive around in expensive cars, that live in expensive houses, and none of them ever told me anything that is worrying, not even a scratch on their car. And the beautiful thing about Cyprus is that the country has a lot of potential. The economy is steadily growing and our clients are investing their money into the real estate market to increase and protect their wealth. I live in Cyprus for 5 years now, and the growth over the past few years is stunning. So this is why we think that Cyprus is the best and safest low-tax country in Europe. And if you want to get more details and an individual consultation call, you can reach out to us on tax.one, or you can watch this video where we explain the Cyprus taxation in very detail, and I will see you there.